Orange Business. Spotlight on East Orange Business is your local business and community affairs program dedicated to highlighting the work of entrepreneurs, business owners, and businesses that serve the residents of the East Orange, New Jersey community. I am Anna Banks, your host, and today's program is Building Legacy, Brick by Brick, sponsored by Thrive Leadership Institute. The show airs on Tuesday evenings at 6:30 on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. The late Maya Angelou once said, "If you're going to live, leave a legacy. Make a mark on the world that can't be erased." Now, I don't know about you, but Maya Angelou's quote sets the perfect context for this evening's show. As we celebrate African American History Month or Black History Month, however you want to term it, we're all called to believe that each of us has the responsibility to leave a legacy before we pass on. Building a legacy and leaving a mark helps us to shape the bigger picture, which before we're down the line and at the end of the line, impacts societies, communities, and our very lives. A legacy helps to keep people connected, and it leaves something for us to be remembered. Right. And so I am just delighted to have in the studio tonight a conversation with Mark Cheatam about building legacy brick by brick, the Legacy Park project at the Ambrose-Ward mansion right here in our own East Orange, New Jersey. We're going to find out a little bit more about the project, how it came together, and what Mark's part is in it.
Okay.
So welcome to Spotlight on East Orange Business, Mark.
Thank you so much, Anna Banks. It's a pleasure to be with you.
And before we get the conversation started, I just want to let you know a little bit about this gentleman. Even though for many, he probably doesn't need introduction. Mark is a creative placemaker, and maybe he'll tell us a little bit more about that when we get started. He focuses on working with members of the community to provide results that add value and benefit to both business community and residential communities. Mark is the launch coordinator supporting the beautification of the Ambrose-Ward mansion and the creation of the Legacy Park on the grounds of the mansion. Now, Mark has worked with organizations such as the Greater Newark Conservancy and the East Orange Chamber of Commerce, the Historical Society of East Orange, and the East Orange Sustainable Food Alliance. He is currently employed by the City of East Orange in the Department of Policy, Planning, and Development as the Economic Development Specialist, primarily serving the small business community. Now, in that role, Mark has the responsibility for many citywide events, including the annual Taste of the City Food Festival. And if you didn't go, you missed it. Also, the East Orange Market and East Orange pop-up shops. Mark is a longtime resident of East Orange and a lover of the arts. So welcome again, Mark.
Thank you so much, Anna. It's awfully kind.
Well, you are the man about town, always making things happen. just like you stated in like what the creative placemaker is. In fact, why don't you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, creative placemaking is an actual discipline
Mm-hmm.
where we um, look at development from the perspective of the community.
Yes.
Okay. Even in our community, we have a lot of development happening, but a lot of times these are investors from outside of the community who only see opportunity for their business or corporate interest, and a lot of times the community engagement piece is lost. um, Community creative placemaking believes that all successful development has to begin at the ground level. If it is for the benefit of the residential or the business community, well, their lack of engagement or involvement it will speak to the success of the program. Community
Mm-hmm.
engagement, uh, uh, creative placemaking also involves things like asset inventory. What institutions, what um, resources exist within a community that, if leveraged properly, can really help catapult or deliver certain kinds of responses that a municipality or a community would be looking for. Um, I say that to say the Ambrose-Ward Mansion is one of those resources, assets in our community, and the work that the African American Fund and the Greater Essex Community Uplift Foundation have done with Omega Psi Phi on that property is proving more and more daily that it is a viable institution, asset in this community, and we need to continue to develop and support these kinds of assets so that we have a community where people can live, work, and play. Another example, I think, in East Orange is the Manufacturers Village with the creation of that huge Black Lives Matter mural. Once again, you're creating destination, you're creating hubs, and you have to do it creatively, you have to do it strategically. I think that's the best I can give you on creative placemaking.
Well, thank you so much. But that was a perfect lead in, especially since we're really talking about the asset of um, the Ambrose-Ward Mansion.
Yes.
So, how did you become involved in this Legacy Park project, and why is it important to you, Mark?
I appreciate that. Um, a great friend, Keith Pressey, is the manager, I would say, of the mansion right now through his organization, Omega Psi Phi. I think his particular group are even known in the community as the Community Qs. Keith had shared with me some time ago that the African American Fund, who owns the property, is the recipient of a Green Acre Capital Improvement Grant that would be used towards a beautification project of the 125-year-old mansion. The mansion is located at 132 South Harrison, and it's the front exterior of the property that has been proposed as a Legacy Park, and will be created as a constant reminder and a preserver of important dates, events, history, according to local residents and stakeholders of the surrounding community. What was intriguing to me and what really motivated our involvement or engagement is that the capital improvement grant does require matching funds.
Mm-hmm.
So we pulled together a small team that would work in supporting the fundraising of that financial that needed financial match.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, um, You got involved with this because of an alliance that you had with Omega Sci-Fi, Keith Pressey.
Mhm.
And so, well, why is it important to you?
Legacy is important to me. And in this particular project, I thought it was brilliant because it gave our community a way to memorialize
Mhm.
those people, places, events that have had significance in our lives. I'm from a family of 10, raised here in East Orange. Um, there's so many offspring in our family. I think that the Cheatams could take up the entire walkway, and that's the challenge for us. Let us leave something behind. We're in a time post-pandemic. Um, um, Not necessarily post Black Lives Matter, but these conversations, these issues are a forefront in our minds. I saw the Legacy Walk component of the Legacy Park project as an opportunity for us to demonstrate that our lives matter and that we are here. Not only are we looking to pay homage to this fantastic mansion, one of the last of those types of dinosaurs in the city of East Orange, but also have an opportunity as community members to document that we too are here, and that this goes on into perpetuity. You know, although our lives are dated, if you will, you know, our stamp, our brick can be here much longer than we could. So I just thought it was a wonderful project, and I saw it as a community building project,
Yes,
which is key.
absolutely. And so you mentioned a team. So who makes up the team, and why were these people, or how were these people recruited
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the project?
The team that we collaborated with, or that we collaborate with often, is made up of quite simply like-minded individuals who love their community and who are committed to being the change that we're all looking for. These are people within our network, because that is key. I mean, and within our borders, um, who with commitment share their time, talent, and treasures to these and other efforts like these. Community legends like John Henry, who you interviewed just last week, and his partner, Shirley Hendricks, have lent their support in phenomenal ways. Sharonda Burgess, who has curated the vendors for the Mansion Marketplace that we'll talk a little bit about. We're working with designer Tyrone Chablis, who will further articulate the space for the event, along with some new kids on the block, such as entrepreneurs Al and Dominique Anderson, and a young brother that I believe will be a beast in his industry, Ronci Pierce. Somebody reached out to me, Ronci reached out to me some time ago and said, Mark, I see the work that you're involved in. I'd like to work with you. And I'm happy to say that he's been a tremendous asset in this project. And of course, your assistance, Anna Banks, is unparalleled. You always bring so much to the table, and we're so grateful and really appreciate your partnership. As
Well,
to,
thank you.
let me answer the question as to how they were recruited. Always low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean? If it's too much of a lift, it's probably not right. That's how I approach things. So, you know, we reach out to people who we know would share an interest in whatever the type of project we're working on, you know, and if we have that common interest and can create a common goal, that's generally who we work with. Our community is so talented that,
Yes.
you know, there's so many people that we could work with, we can work with, But I'll tell you a little secret about myself. I'm a firm believer that God so loved the world that he didn't begin with a committee. Committee work is very committee work is very challenging for me, but we do like to get the work done.
Absolutely.
And if I can interject, and one of the ways that I think that we've been successful in that, I mentioned creative placemaking, but there's a discipline that we employ called strategic doing, and that really helps us follow a template as to how we get things done. Simply, what I love about strategic doing is you begin after creating a hypothetical question or an appreciative question for the group to ponder. Once they think about that, then they want to start exploring. Well, with all the things and all the talent that we have at the table, what could we do?
Mm-hmm.
And then we narrow that down to what should we do? And then we narrow that down to what will we do? And then we try to create a schedule to stay on top of each other to make sure that work is being done. I've been working under that discipline for the last couple of years, and I can honestly share with you that it works for me.
Especially since it doesn't necessarily involve committee.
Well, collaboration is everything.
Oh, yes, it's collaboration. Collaboration.
It is not, committee work is, I think, part of our grandfather's economy. And I don't know that is what really works in our current economy. I think that our relationships is what gets things done.
Absolutely.
If I need
absolutely,
with these smartphones, all you have to do is pick up the phone. If you have that kind of network, and Facebook and social media and Spotlight on East Orange Business and all these different tools help us develop those networks.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. So, we talked a little bit about, like some of the things that you're facilitating with the Legacy Park.
Okay.
So could you tell us 3 reasons why the residents and businesses of East Orange should get involved with the upcoming launch? In fact, when is the launch?
The launch for Building Legacy Brick by Brick happens this coming Saturday at the mansion located 132 South Harrison. It's 12 o'clock noon for the rally, and that'll run about an hour and a half. This Saturday during Black History Month at the African American Fund Ambrose-Ward Mansion. The attendees should expect to be uplifted, inspired, and truly empowered. And I'll tell you, it looks like the community is really coming out.
Okay.
And we don't plan to disappoint. The attendees should expect some very dynamic presenters, and we have some surprises in store. If I can get away with leaving it at that, I'd love to. But even some, one of the surprises, and I'll share, is there's a 14-year-old young man at Cecily Tyson School who is currently in the New York production of The Lion King.
Homegrown. Oh, I love it.
Kadeem will be performing a song that he has selected specific for this event. Once again, we have so much talent, and we did not want it to be a show. What we want is to create a rally. We want to create enthusiasm around this project. You will be expected to see renderings of what Legacy Park will look like. The mansion will feature for this event right after the um, rally at 1:30, we'll start a mansion marketplace where we have 20 plus vendors. The range of vendors will truly have something for everybody. We've got fine artists such as Greg Banks and Eram Yates. Greg is from East Orange. Mr. Yates is from South Orange. We have Scent of the City, which is Better Body Essentials is what they sell. There is Aviel, Aveli, Wellness, which does aromatherapy products, fashion designer Tyrone Chablis, and just so much more. So, I mean, again, the beautiful mansion will be articulated with a marketplace. And of course, the public will have an opportunity to purchase their legacy brick at that marketplace on Saturday. The marketplace will run Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 6 on both of those days, Anna.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And I'm glad that during all of the festivities and the launch and the rally of Legacy Park, that there will be an opportunity for the residents to buy their brick. You know, as I said earlier in the show, what Maya Angelou said, you know, with make your mark.
Yes.
Make your mark in the world that can't be erased. And it's not easy to erase imprinted things on brick.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah. So, you know, I think that it's a great opportunity. If I may, Anna, I would like to at least just share what the link that one can go to. I know it's easier if they see it written, but I'm going to recite it as https:// the numeral 4 everbricks.com.
Okay, so let me see if I can get that, and I can put it right up on the screen.
Excellent.
So https
twice forever 4 numeral everbricks.com.
Wait a minute, 4
bricks.com /donors.
Okay, women forever bricks. And that's bricks with an S?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, .com
/donors /legacy walk
legacy walk. Okay, so let's see if we can.
And that link will share information about the entire project and share the order form that the community.
We're going to make sure that is that it?
It's
foreverbricks.com.
Let's look at it. Hold on, please. Foreverbricks.com. That's perfect, Anna.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So great. Yeah, that is how one can access purchase of a brick right at this point. We will have some computers available on Saturday where the attendees of the rally or the marketplace will also be able to access that link and get their brick. Everybody knows and loves John Henry, the phenomenal photographer. John is planning to take a picture of everybody that purchases a brick that day. And if we get enough of them, maybe we might be able to do something more with that image collage of a number of people. So it's almost like these are the people who have built legacy, if you will.
Great.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. So, Mark, I just have a few more questions that I'd love to ask you.
Okay.
And some of these are questions that people have asked me about legacy.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is, do you see the Legacy Park project at the Ambrose-Ward Mansion as being something that is going to be important for the East Orange community years from now? Are they going to, what's going to be available for families and for the community? I know it's going to be a park, but what does that look like as far as building community?
It's a great question, Anna. And for one, I can't project the future, first off.
Absolutely.
But from a historical perspective, I believe that the project has relevance that will only increase. I'll say that this type of community engaged project is right for now. We, particularly on South Harrison, as a municipality, are experiencing some great development. Some of this development looks like it may not be for us. Well, this gorgeous mansion that is owned by African American Fund of New Jersey, and will have an open space park that could even have our names documented in there. I think has significance not only 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I also want to go back to how the African American Fund is using and plans to use the Ambrose-Ward Mansion. They're looking for this to become a true community hub. I don't want to call it a community center because, right, but a hub. They want it to be utilized for nonprofits meetings, a community engagement space. I've attended amazing lectures that were open to the community in this mansion. There's an expression that says the harvest is plentiful, it's the laborers that are few. And I see these guys are attempting to do the work that really speaks to anchoring our community towards sustainability. So I do see that this project has significance today, and I do believe that it will become increasingly more important as time goes on. Many people go visit their loved one's tombstone or something like that. To be able to be right in your own community and be able to touch something that you made happen right here locally, I believe that really will have significance through time.
That is great. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that. So, Mark, any final thoughts on this part before we move into what I call another fun segment of the show?
Final thoughts, a housekeeping note. Because we expect a good number of individuals to come out for the rally on Saturday and to the marketplace on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to ask everyone to be mindful of social distancing practices and please wear your mask. Parking, we're going to use the Corrections Department parking lot, which is behind the mansion, so one will access it from Evergreen. So please be mindful. There will be signage. There will be people directing traffic, but I want to mention that to avoid any frustration or any inconvenience. With regard to final thoughts, I think that this project speaks to our lives, our communities, our experiences matter. I think this is a beautiful way to document yours and your loved one's legacy. Legacy Walk is just another demonstration to the world that we're here and that we are proud.
Well said.
Thank you.
Well said, Mark Cheatam.
Thank you very much, Anna Banks. I love you. I love you.
Yes, very well said. And in fact, I'm going to put the link for the how you can purchase your family brick or bricks for members of your family right here on the screen. As you can see, it's foreverbricks.com/donors/legacy walk.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Oh, you're more than welcome, Mark. You know, this has been a very interesting and not just fact-filled, but it's a perfect kind of show to have during Black History Month, African American History Month. And so thank you so much for taking the time to come and to bring this information, as well as your energy and your commitment to East Orange, to the East Orange community, in doing this project and so many that you have your hand on.
Labor of love.
Yes, well, we know. So I'm going to transition to a fun part of our show.
Okay.
You know, our guests and our listeners and people who watch our viewers, they always like to hear this because this kind of opens up a little bit about the guest.
Okay.
So you want to? So are you ready to have a little bit of fun?
I'm ready to have a lot of fun, Anna Banks.
Okay, so we're going to play Would You Rather.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mark, would you rather see 10 minutes into the future or 100 years into the future?
I think I'd rather see 100 years into the future.
100 years. Why?
Why I would like to witness that we have gotten over some of our hurdles. I can only imagine what technology would be in 100 years. You know, I mean, let's go back 100 years and just see the progress that we've made in the past 100 years. And I just had a knee replacement. So I want to go into 100 years in the future to just see whether or not we can do that without any discomfort. Yeah.
I totally can understand that. You know, I got a couple aches and pains, no replacements yet, but a couple of aches and pains myself. So, Mark, would you rather have $1 million now or $5,000 a week for the rest of your life?
Both of the propositions sound very interesting. You know, and I would just take 5,000 just for this week, but I would. I think for investment purposes, I think I would go for the larger money now. Yeah, with the hope of making or being steered in the right direction, where that 5,000 a week is something that we can create anyway. But I'll take the money now.
Okay.
What about you, Anna? What would you do?
Aha!
Yeah.
No, I'm not telling.
Okay. All right. I love you. Not telling. Good.
I'm not telling. But I probably would align with what you're saying. I'll just say that. Yeah. So, would you rather be trapped in the middle of a food fight or a water balloon fight?
Water balloon.
Water balloon. Okay.
Water balloon. Food fight sounds, juvenile,
Waste
juvenile.
and juvenile.
It's it's my Animal House years are over.
Oh, over. Okay.
But
Okay.
if you're going to take the time to um, put water in balloons, it sounds like it's going to be a warm enough day, and it sounds like we're going to be with people who can take a joke and have some fun. So I'm going to go with the water balloons.
Water balloons.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love it.
good.
So this is our last question.
Okay.
So it's, for me, a lot of it is about the money. We were talking about raising money, so a lot of it is about the money. I mean, after all, my last name is Banks.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So would you rather travel the world for free for a year, or have 50,000 to spend right now as you please?
Travel the world for free for an entire year is the answer. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. She said the world for free.
That's it.
There are places you can go in the world now and spend your 50,000, but not see the rest of the world. So, I'm getting old enough where if you just give me a couple more years, I'll be able to do that without having to ask anybody's permission. So, I would definitely do travel the world for a year. Yes.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be fun though? Oh my goodness, I wish I had a magic wand. Zap you and zap me too.
and to do it with purpose,
yes,
would be amazing. It's one thing just you're just out for fun, but there's so much history out there. There's so much, and I would love to travel the world and explore how our diaspora was experienced in that region of the world, or something like that. You know what I mean? Just so that it's not all for fun. It's all about the experience.
Absolutely. And I think that as we're wrapping up our History Month, it's really important for us to know our history globally.
Yes.
I remember, several years ago traveling to Kenya. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
And you just get a whole different sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So I totally agree with you.
Just on that note, Anna, let me just add, years ago when I was in the military, I had an opportunity to spend some time in Australia. And the plight of the Aboriginal, even as African Americans, we're so removed from it. We don't really understand, how their stories or history parallels with ours, or the American Indian, probably even better, because in some instances they didn't look to enslave, they just look to annihilate, just kill off, get them out of the way, and as just like America has not really worked through the Indian issue. Even Australia, the Aboriginals that I met at that time, they were still suffering in such a way that it was. So yeah, I think the experience of getting out of our comfort zones and really exploring what that global experience of even just being Black male feels like, looks like, So, and this has been a lot of fun. I'm hoping.
Well, thank you.
I'm hoping that we said something that will encourage members of the community to come join us this weekend. We've got a lot of really fine things planned, and we're looking forward to a major event during Black History Month right here in the city of East Orange. And we hope that that the audiences come on out and lend their support.
Absolutely. So could you just again, just give us a when it's going to be, the time frames.
Yes.
Could you
Okay,
give that?
so again, Ambrose-Ward Mansion, located 132 South Harrison Street in the city of East Orange. The rally is the campaign launch. That begins at 12 o'clock on Saturday afternoon and will run until about 1:30. We've got some phenomenal people coming out. One of my favorite, Senator Nia Gill, will be there. Of course, our honorable mayor will be there. The president of the African American Fund will be there. And we hope that the listening audience will be there also. So that's the rally. The Mansion Marketplace, 1 to 6 on both days at the mansion, throughout the mansion. And we're going to have some fun. Please come on out.
Absolutely. And whether you make it there to buy your brick or not, you can buy your brick by going to the link that's right there on the screen, foreverbricks.com/donor/legacy walk. And you and your family and friends can buy your bricks right there.
And they're very affordable. Although we're talking legacy, this is not going to create a dent in anybody's pocket.
That's great.
Yes.
So thank you, Mark Cheatam,
for
sharing the exciting plans for the launch of the Legacy Park project at the Ambrose-Ward Mansion here in our great city of East Orange.
Yes.
Thank you again.
It is my pleasure. Thank you, Anna Banks.
So this ends another episode of Spotlight on East Orange Business. I just want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. Spotlight on East Orange Business is your local business and community affairs program dedicated to highlighting the work of entrepreneurs, business owners, and businesses that serve the residents of the East Orange, New Jersey community. This program is sponsored by Thrive Leadership Institute. And by the way, if you are interested, if you or your business would like to be a guest on Spotlight on East Orange Business, please send an email to hello@thriveleadershipinstitute.com. Let me just put that up on the screen. hello@thriveleadershipinstitute.com.
Excellent.
And we will make sure that we have someone that's going to connect with you and get you scheduled for the program.
Good.
So thank you again and have a great night. Thanks again, Mark.
It's my pleasure, Anna. Have a good evening.